Peter Constable, Chairman of the Jesus Green Association.
Hold it up, you need to hold the thing right up to your mouth, please.
Okay. I'm Peter Constable, Chairman of the Jesus Green Association, and I've never used the microphone before, sorry about that. The questionnaire, firstly, I think it was pretty well answered, and there were quite a good number of people who answered it. And I think there have been some quite good things come from it, and there is the proposals really do form a basis for moving forward. I think the questionnaire could have been better written. Quite a number of the questions didn't give proper options, and if you are conducting this sort of survey, I think the time spent on the questionnaire, or more time spent on the questionnaire, would be time well spent. In Jesus Green Association, we looked at the proposals from not only from the point of view of what you can see when you're on the green, but what you can see off the green from on the green, and on the green from off the green. And I think that's quite important, because the boundaries are not always the boundaries of the green. For instance, on the Jesus Ditch side, you've got those lovely trees in Jesus College, which form a wonderful backdrop. If you put big trees on the other side of Jesus Ditch, you'll lose that perspective. The river, of course, forms a wonderful boundary on one side. The House on Park Parade, and I happen to hold my hand up here because I live in one of those, and they form a backdrop. They've been there since the late 1800s, and the urban fabric of those, I think, is worth actually seeing from the green. So be careful what you do with the trees there. Now, I've got a number of comments on the resulting proposals, and I'll just whiz through those as fast as I can. The first one I got is question 8 on Victoria Avenue. I think that really relates to both sides of Victoria Avenue, from Jesus College to the bridge, not just the Midsummer Common side. And so it's quite important that is taken into account. And it says on the new proposal that the responses, which were of course almost unanimously in favour of doing nothing until things start going wrong, that word, it said the response would be noted for future proposals. I hate that word, noted. I think that should be changed to will be taken into account. We wouldn't like to lose the feeling that you got from that one. The next one is question 10, which is the London planes. I think that's okay, actually. I think we've got the right answer to that, leave it where it is. There's a lot needs doing underneath with the path, but we'll come to that later. Then we've got the lower Park Street end of the path, which abuts Jesus Green, and this question of the proposal to fell what you call 2 vandalised trees. These are 2 small beeches which are standing there within about a foot of each other. Now, the history of those is that the smaller one, which is merely a bush, is standing against a taller one, and the smaller one was put in as a memorial tree to a child in Park Street School who died. That tree was vandalised, but instead of being taken out, one was put by the side of it, and both of them are subsequently grown. I think you must look at this terribly carefully. I know that Anthony Byrne is going to talk to is talking to the Park Street School tonight about it, but it may be appropriate to take the smaller one out and leave the bigger one, which actually is quite a nicely formed tree, and call that the memorial tree. Now, Colin probably knows the background to this as well as I do. Yeah. So please be careful of that. The other thing is that at that end of the Jesus Ditch, there are 3 new trees going in. That's the proposal. And this is where the view comes into account. If you stand on Jesus Green, in the middle of the green, and look down that area, down to Lower Park Street, you get the most beautiful view of those Jesus cottages. Now that's really a wonderful part of our built heritage. And if you look a little further, you get the Tower of St. John's. If you fill that with trees, you will lose that view. And my view is that you probably should abandon those 3 tree planting. But if you do decide to plant there, then I think there should be small trees, which will give shade and so on. Come now to the Leilandi by La Mimosa. This is quite interesting as well, because as you walk down the path, the towpath, towards La Mimosa, you'll see these 3 huge trees, and if you just go under them and look at the view beyond them, guess what you see? You see the side of that drastic development of the hotel on Thompson's Lane. So please don't cut the 3 of them down. I think a proposal, the two either side of the centre are very craggy and so on, and I know they had to have quite a lot of work done on them. So perhaps maybe to start with, those 2 could come down, leaving the centre one, which is a lovely straight tree, Leilandi tree, and it will form that background and keep that view intact. The swimming pool, I don't think I want to comment further on that, because I think it needs further discussion on the hedge. I'll just come on to the final one, the specific issue, and that is on the towpath replanting. There are 2 new trees being put in front of the pool, and I think they're okay. They'll shade views over the river. But then there are 3 going in between the swimming pool and the little bridge. Now, again, those 3 will shade another very beautiful view. If you stand over on Chesterton Road and look down the side of the London Plain Avenue, which you're looking then just down one side, you get a lovely capability brown view. And if you put trees in there, you will shield that. And you won't see that view either from Chesterton Road or from the towpath. So, again, the Jesus Green Association, I think that needs looking at. A question now. Somebody said during the earlier comments that there were some trees which were outside the tree protocol. Can you describe what those are? And finally, just to ensure continuity, we would like a future management / conservation plan for Jesus Green, and I would like you to perhaps include that in your agreement tonight. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.